If someone told me my girlfriend had a secret second life, I'd call them crazy, but then I opened the wrong door. My name is Daniel. I'm 33, and until a few months ago I thought my life was finally settling into something that looked peaceful, not perfect, not exciting, just stable. A steady IT job, a modest apartment filled with too many plants, and a girlfriend I genuinely believed I'd marry someday. Her name was Claire. She had this calm presence that made the world feel quieter when she walked into a room. Soft voice, warm smile, kind of person who made chaos feel manageable. We met at a friend's game night. She beat everyone at a trivia round about 80s movies and laughed like she didn't expect to win. That laugh, real, bright, unforced, is what drew me in. For 2 years, we built a life together. Small routines, inside jokes, shared mornings. I trusted her the way a tired man trusts the only peaceful place he has left. But trust doesn't break loudly. It fractures quietly. And those fractures started appearing before I even noticed. The first one came on a random Thursday night. I got home later than usual because of a server crash at work. Claire always messaged when I was running late, but that night she didn't. When I walked inside, she was on the couch staring at her phone like she was waiting for something. When she saw me, she jumped a little. Not a lot, just enough for me to feel it. "You okay?" I asked. "Yeah, just tired." She answered too quickly, flipping her phone face down. Nothing dramatic, nothing obvious, but something in her tone stuck with me. Then more things followed. Late-night work calls, walking onto the balcony to talk privately. Her phone always locked, always face down. Trips she couldn't fully explain. Excuses that felt rehearsed. A subtle smell of cologne on her hoodie, definitely not mine. You know that feeling when one red flag suddenly makes you remember all the others you ignored. That was me. But I tried to be reasonable. I'd been cheated on in the past, and I didn't want to repeat the paranoia of old wounds. So I pushed the thoughts away. Told myself she was stressed, overworked, tired. Then came the night that changed everything. Claire said she was going to a girls' night. She even sent a photo of the drinks, but something about the picture felt off, like it was taken somewhere too quiet, too tidy. But I let it go. I decided to grab a burger and realized I left my wallet in her car. When I opened her car door, I froze. The passenger seat was pushed all the way back, as if a tall man had been sitting there, and the GPS showed a route taken just an hour earlier, to a completely different part of town than the one she said she was in. My chest tightened. My mind went to every scenario except the truth I already knew. The rest of the week felt different. Claire smiled, but her eyes didn't. She kissed me, but her lips felt colder. Her presence felt like a performance, and I hated that I could feel the difference. Then came the night of the door. Claire said she had a late shift at work. She rushed her words, avoided eye contact, grabbed her bag too quickly. But the moment the door shut behind her, I saw it. Her work badge, right there on the table. Without it, she couldn't even enter the building. I stared at it for a long minute. My heart knew what my brain didn't want to admit. I grabbed my keys, opened her car, checked the GPS history, and followed the most recent route. The drive felt endless. The location brought me to a quiet neighborhood, one of those peaceful places with dim streetlights and identical buildings. The GPS led me to a small apartment complex, Unit 3B. A soft, warm light glowed under the door. I walked up the stairs slowly. Every step felt like it weighed more than the last. At the door, I stopped. Maybe this was a misunderstanding. Maybe she was visiting someone. Maybe. Then I heard it. Her voice. Claire's voice. Laughing. Not the strained laugh she'd given me lately, but the real one. The one I fell in love with. And then, a man's voice. Deep. Familiar. My stomach dropped. My hand reached for the handle before my mind could stop it. I prayed the door would be locked. It wasn't. The moment the door opened, the room inside froze. Claire sat curled up on the couch, leaning into a man I recognized instantly. Adam, her co-worker, the man she told me she barely talked to. She went pale. He stood up. My heartbeat drowned out every other sound. "Daniel," she whispered. "Don't," I said. "Please don't lie. Not now." Her eyes filled with tears, not the kind you get from sadness, more like the kind you get when you're caught. Adam put a hand on her shoulder instinctively, like it was normal, like it was his place. That gesture broke me more than the cheating itself. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I didn't argue. I felt myself detach, like my body was there, but my mind had stepped away to avoid shattering. Claire tried talking, saying it just happened, that she didn't mean for this, that she still loved me. But when someone builds a second life without you, you're not part of their heart anymore. You're just part of their comfort. I left quietly. No slamming doors, no dramatic exits. Quiet endings hurt more anyway. The days after were a blur of messages, apologies, promises she'd change, attempts to explain the unexplainable. But once you see the truth, you can't unsee it. Once someone shows you the version of themselves they reserve for someone else, that's the real them. Months have passed, and now I'm not angry, I'm not broken, I'm aware that love doesn't prevent betrayal, aware that some doors shouldn't be opened. But if you're brave enough to open them, they'll show you exactly who someone really is. And sometimes, losing someone you thought you needed is the only way to find yourself again.